In the world of Naruto, there are few organizations more fearsome or dangerous than the Akatsuki. This collection of missing nin, each with their own ambitions and accomplishments, yet all with one common goal. In this video, we're going to accomplish that goal in the World of Magical Gatherings Commander format. We'll be creating over 15 unique cards, each with their own purpose, as well as give a brief history lesson on the headline commanders. But before all of that, consider subscribing to my channel, liking and sharing this video around, and let me know what you would like me to make into a commander deck. And now, let's begin. The origins of the Akatsuki are insanely complicated, but to simplify it a bit, it was founded by Nagato, who was born with the legendary Rinnegan eyes. Funny enough, it was founded initially with the intention of peace. After the death of Yahiko, though, one of the founding members, they decided that the only way to achieve peace is by creating a war so destructive and vile that no one would be able to stomach the thought of war again. Behind it all, however, it is revealed that this entire plan was orchestrated by Madara Uchiha, the legendary rival to the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju. But while Madara bides his time in the shadows, he recruits another pawn to enact his will. One who shares a similar worldview to Nagato. This pawn, using Madara's name as his own, moves the rest of the pieces into place, enacting his master's will. This pawn is known as Obito Uchiha. Now that we got the history lesson out of the way, let's move on to the cards. I decided that this deck would utilize two different commanders, each with their own playstyle and endgame. The primary commander of this deck is Obito, embodiment of suffering. Obito is a 3 Grixis cost legendary ninja with 3 distinct mechanics. First, he has procs, making your non-creature spells powerful. Then, he provides a mighty discount to your instants and sorceries. And then finally, at the end of your turn, each of your opponents are faced with a villainous choice, neither of which is pleasant. They may allow you to retrieve a random instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, or they may lose life equal to Obito's power. This commander emphasizes growing his power with instants and sorceries, while maintaining control of the battlefield so that at the end of turn, your opponents suffer. Of course, even Obito has his powers. The secondary commander of this deck is Nagato, Master of Pain. For Grixis colors, you get to tutor for an avatar upon entering the battlefield. Then, he provides a larger discount for said avatars, dropping their cost by 2 generic. Unlike Obito, who focuses on powering himself, Nagato relies more on the other creatures you control, all of whom have an intense board presence, overwhelming your enemies with powerful combat abilities, as well as activated abilities from your creatures to fulfill your game plan is what Nagato intends on doing. When you run Obito as your commander, naturally it will be targeted by anyone and everyone when he enters the battlefield. Thankfully, we have a few custom spells to keep him safe. Sharingan Illusion is a cheap counterspell that counters spells that specifically target creatures you control, while punishing your opponents by milling them. Of course, sometimes they'll want to throw something that can't be countered at them. In that instance, we have Kamui Assault. Obito flickers out of existence for a simple counterattack on a creature. To flicker a creature, you just have to exile it and have it re-enter the battlefield under its owner's control. But sometimes, you need to protect more than just Obito. You may have to protect all of your creatures, which is where Fire Release Blast Wave comes in. It hits all of your opponent's creatures as well as your opponent's directly, while providing protection from red to all creatures you control until the end of turn. Of course, prowess triggers from non-creature spells, so we're not just going to want to focus on instants and sorceries. Pawn for the Grand Plan is an enchantment that provides utility whenever one of your creatures dies. Flame Release amplifies your damage whenever you hit a creature or player with an instant or sorcery. Even equipment can help. Equipping Obito with the Uchiha Gumbai grants him with protection while also increasing his own damage output. Though, in all fairness, all ninja in Naruto have a few different types of abilities that can be turned into instants and sorceries. The substitution jutsu is the most common technique, providing protection for ninja throughout the world. And despite Naruto being famous for his clones, most ninja can use some variation of the clone technique. Unlike Naruto's shadow clones, however, they can be easily dispelled. If you decide to use Nagato as your commander, then you're in for a treat. Despite Nagato not being the most dangerous combatant, he is the one controlling all 6 paths of pain. Every single one of them is an avatar, so they can be tutored out with Nagato. Each one of them does something devastating, so they can establish that domination that's essential to his gameplay. But remember, I made a tutor for avatars, not just avatar creatures. The statue that Nagato utilizes is called the demonic statue of the Outer Path, which in reality is the husk of the 10-tailed beast. Using this husk allows us to generate mana, but if you make it to the late game, you can turn it into the 10 tails and stomp all over your opponents. In the description of this video, I have included a Google Doc that includes every single card that I have shown you today. Feel free to use this at your next session, and if you do, please let me know how it went for you. If you want a hint about what I'll be creating next, follow me on X. Thank you so much.